Cheers to one of the best bull traps I have seen in a while, Zero DTE team. This is your routine debrief. I'm going to jump right into it. Let's go right to our 4-hour chart and see what we got going on here. So, first things first, the bull flag from yesterday. They tried to break it out, and as you can see with that white circled area, the bears punched us right back in, and they punched us back in with some vigor. We closed both below that POC for the week and below the value area low. And on top of that, you can see that yellow candle with the red box. What that means is we lost a level that we'd gained on the chart, and that's a pretty darn bearish signal. As long as price can stay below that, that's going to act as supply now. It's kind of the opposite of what we saw yesterday. If you recall, yesterday we closed with a bit of a bullish posture, and today it's just the opposite. And if we look at our TPO chart, I'm going to switch screens here. If you look at our TPO chart, where do we close? We closed below what was once a demand zone, and now, until we break through it, it's going to be a supply zone. So you'll see in my Twitter post that I'll review toward the end of this. After market closed, I opened a NQ ES pairs trade that was bullish. I immediately closed that when Globex opened here after I'd done the review, just because although we may pop back into it, and I'll be watching that 3680 area closely, as it stands right now, we are definitely looking bearish. And I'll show you on volatility why I'm tentatively looking for a long tomorrow, perhaps considering this might be a trap. So if we look at this volatility chart, here's what's going on here. Pretty interesting. So I just want to point out, you'll hear me talk about volatility all the time. It just really behaves so well with trend lines, just super basic trend lines. And you can see here, so this has been our channel. It's really this line here is the top, this line here is the bottom, and you can see every time we tap the bottom, we've popped back up. Again, a little pop back up, and even again today, a pop back up. And this is where I went short delta today. I did end the day green thanks to this little volatility cue right about here. This was at about noon. I switched short delta because all the signals lined up, but still, volatility is downtrending. Today's lower low corresponded to a lower high in volatility. And we're rounding out, we're making a run right now. Globex opened lower, obviously, thanks to our good friend Snap. However, volatility is not yet got its legs under it, so I'm not short. I just closed that long play I had on. I'm waiting for that reclaim. Yet we're not seeing any indication that we're going to have any significant sell-off tonight. So keep in mind that tomorrow is OPEX, which is why we've had such a trappy week. OPEX weeks are notorious for this type of activity. And we'll be watching, again, this TPO chart, this box. It's about 3680 to say 3730. That's the primary areas of it. If we start to accept back into it, I don't hate a long play. We've seen traps all week. This is just kind of the opposite of yesterday, so perhaps we're going to get a trap to the other side. Yet until then, we have to just look at what the charts are giving us and stay short. So it's pretty simple going in tomorrow. It's the same levels we've been watching all week. We want to be nimble. We want to remember that it's going to be trappy, and that's really all I have for you tonight. There's not too much. It's a lot of the same. The main thing being our close below our former demand zone here, and we're going to see if price continues. If we want to pick a downside, this 3614, that's that naked POC that provides a generous target for the bears, but definitely a potential magnet. So yeah, so tomorrow, watch where we are relative to 3680. Watch what happens if they do push it to 3730, and go from there. Besides that, links to my playbook are going to be in our video description today. You can also subscribe to the newsletter if you're not already subscribed there. And please engage with me on Twitter. Please engage through the newsletter. You'll hear me say it a bunch. I think I've been getting some pretty good engagement on these video comments as well. I've gotten a couple of you, so I appreciate that. Just reviewing my results real quick. I did have a profitable day. I'd realized $2,500 in profit. Unfortunately, I gave back about 1,000 of that when Globex opened. I was down a little bit more. I closed that position out. Still a profitable day. I'm not going to be trading too actively tomorrow. However, I will look for that potential long futures play via the NQ ES pair or even just a standard ES contract with the levels that we just discussed. And besides that, have a good night, well rested. Hopefully tomorrow we're going to end on a nice strong note, not necessarily the market, but our portfolios. And until I talk to you on Sunday night, stay classy.